For those of you who are new here, my name is Naima, the founder of the Academy for Womanhood, where we help women become unapologetic and lead their lives based on true desires terms. And my specialty is working with women who have always been different. I think I should get one of those lights to go right here, too. Hello, YouTube. Hello. So, today I'd like to talk about one of the ways that. So, before I go into the actual content for today, I want to share that if you'd like to work with me, so I have an opportunity for whether you currently own Shadow Gold, and I'll talk more about Shadow Gold, or you get Shadow Gold. If you want help with unleashing your authentic voice, the content I'm going to be sharing today is about how to begin to do that. And then also how you can work with me for the next 6 months, starting July 22nd through January. Okay, so that puts us into 2025, but helping you to unleash your voice. Um, if you're overweight and you know that you're hiding, and you know that part of your hiding is not speaking authentically, you know that you have used weight as a way to hide, you are afraid of everything that comes with actually being authentic in your voice, whether that is outing somebody that was a part of your trauma and pain, whether that is, you know, people judging you or you thinking people will judge you. People are always judging. So, but your concern about how that judgment could leave you feeling. If you are just really eager at a soul level to teach women about things that are not socially acceptable or things that are taboo, but you really feel it in your heart and soul to teach that, right? About death and sex and different kinds of healing and all the things that people are not just comfortably talking about on the internet, but you have it in your soul to teach that and to get really comfortable with being seen online or even sharing your voice on a podcast, writing a book, publishing the book, marketing the book without all the friction of procrastination and fear and what. So there's an opportunity to work with me. I work with women. I've been a mentor and coach for 12 years. I have tons of experience working in and out at the real depth of the heart and soul of a woman, um, her sexual self, her dark self, her primal self. And that's what Shadow Gold is going to go after. The very first module of Shadow Gold is called, I think it's whose opinion keeps you small and how to break the shackles. And there's an exercise in there. It's called my own all energies process. I just have a feeling that people are not. It's okay. It comes with the territory. So how many people right now are more so looking at me versus actually listening to me? Like you hear what I'm saying, but you're most so I can feel it. I can feel it that people are more so taking me in than they are actually taking in what I say. Comes with the territory. All of it comes with the territory. We're so, and that's part of what this work is required for us to do, to really get skilled and okay with everything that comes with the territory of being public facing, being a leader, uh, you know, getting your book out there and selling it, marketing it, being the face, the voice. There's good and the bad, and getting really comfortable with all of it, versus like, I want people to buy my book, but I don't want to be judged. I love all the compliments, but I don't want people talking about that. You know? All right, so Shadow Gold, if you want to read more about Shadow Gold, you go to the link in my bio, click it, and it's option number 5. If you're on YouTube, the link for Shadow Gold is in my description. So let's talk about this through the throat chakra, because I'm working with a woman right now who She says she needs to lose 100 pounds. That's a lot of weight, right? She needs to lose 100 pounds. It was very much in her family for the girls in her family to have their throat chakra. Be quiet. Be quiet. Okay? Be quiet. Be quiet. Shutting down opinions, shutting down perspective. And then, we live in a patriarchal society where you are wholesome and virtuous when you be quiet. Yeah, be quiet. Cook, clean, be quiet. Make sure your vagina is ready for me when I want it. And be quiet. Take care of this house. Be quiet. That's your position. Oh, God. Are you looking forward to that? Do you thrive in that position? If you like it like that, right? Being quiet. Do you prefer to be quiet? Versus like being quiet strategically? So I'm going to share how this woman I'm working with, some of the ways that she has, you know, once you've already been programmed from young, I'm preaching to the choir in some ways here, right? Once you've already been told directly and indirectly that good girls keep their mouth shut, or your mom slandered or, negatively reacted to something you said, or your ideas were never supported, or people talk down to you, right? But once that happens enough in your formative years, once you get to about 12, you're pretty programmed. It's pretty done. Okay. And so then you become an adult, and without thought, because by the time, once you're programmed, it's all in your unconscious mind. So you become another person, which is an altered self. Okay. So once you're programmed and you go out into the world, you basically act out that program. So you're going to pick and design your life unconsciously based on that program. So if the program is good girls are quiet, right? Or you're going to be shut down and judged for sharing your voice because that's what your mom and dad did, or guardians, or whoever, right? You were judged or told to be quiet, or we don't do that in this house, or right? You're going to you're just going to do it very unconsciously. You're going to pick people, opportunities, situations that help you maintain that program. So, what does that look like as an adult? You're going to pick a man that wants you to be quiet, who praises you for being quiet, who, uh, if you were to speak up, he would have a problem with it, because then he would be mirroring what your program says to do, right? Your program says that a woman is good and chaste and virtuous when she's quiet. So you're going to pick environments that encourage that. You're going to pick jobs where you don't have to speak up, where you can get paid, you can be there, you can do your job, and you don't have to speak much. You don't have to say much. You're going to enter rooms and take on opportunities where you are not required to use your throat, where you don't have to really use your mind, your opinions, your position, and speak it out of your mouth. Okay. So you'll be 30, 40, 50 years old, constantly living out this life of quiet, of whatever the program was instilled in you in your formative years. And typically, it's not until you wake up one day or something horrible happens in your life that sort of slaps you awake, right? It's either something slaps you awake, um, your emotions just, you find yourself in this really dark, depressive, almost emotionally neurotic state. Um, yeah, and there's that's typically something like that happens. So you get fired, you go through a divorce, somebody dies, you almost die, something happens with aggressive with one of your, just something happens that just slaps you, that makes you look at your life like, what have I been living? What have I been doing? Kind of thing. Or you just find yourself a kind of walking dead and you want to get out of it because the pain gets so great. Depressed, overweight, fatigued, end up in the hospital, apathetic, sick, just, and typically that is what gets a woman's attention to make her look at, what am I doing with myself? How did I get here? Yes or no? Anybody relate to this? You with me? She's looking at, she always wanted to go to Monaco, but it just seems so out of her league. It just seems so, gosh, right? It just seems so over there, like so, like not like her, because her program is a good woman, is quiet, and all of these things that are a contortion of who she originally is. It's just no, don't be like this, be like this. No, don't be like this, be like this. No, but she did that's, and I want to reiterate what I have been talking about constantly, is your unconscious mind is hidden from you. As you're going about making your choices about the men in your life, career moves, how you're going to market your business, where you're going to live, if you're going to interact with this person or not, how you eat, how you interact with people in your life every day. 95% of it is unconscious, meaning you're not thinking to yourself, yeah, I'm going to pick him. Yeah, I'm going to do that. No, it's all based on your invisible thoughts, your invisible belief system. So please know that no matter what your life looks like right now, whether it is like good, meaning like you have all the material things, but you're miserable, right? You got the money, you got the man, you travel, you degrees, you have all the things that's supposed to make humans happy. And while there are pockets of joy and satisfaction, gratitude for that, your soul is deeply unsatisfied. Something is missing. Like this is nice, but it ain't it. Or don't have all the material things and you're like, man, why do I struggle like this financially? Or I know I can do it, or why do I procrastinate? Or why is it so hard for me? No matter what your reality looks like, all of it, or how about this? 95% of it is in your unconscious mind, which means you have the power to do something about it. That's the bright side. It's not just set in stone. The problem, it's not a problem. The opportunity is that there's work, and so many of us don't want to do the work. So if you refuse to do the work, then you have to settle with what comes with your reality. And so the only thing that would move you beyond the comfort, the procrastination, or whatnot is you having a deep, hungry desire. And this And I won't go off into that, but it can take us into the conversation of a want versus a desire, which I've talked about at different times here. A want, like I want to, that would be nice. That would be nice. Yeah, that would be nice. Oh, that'd be cool. That sounds like fun. That'd be nice. That'd be fun. Versus a desire. A desire won't quit. A desire, okay? So there's a difference. So your unconscious mind, for all of you here, every including me, when I'm looking at a shift, a big one, first of all, I look at what I've already created. So this is part of what the takeaway for you here today in unleashing your authentic voice. Look at your life exactly as it is right now. What does your life look like right now? Because whatever your life looks like right now, the truth of it is what you actually think, is what you actually want, is what you actually prefer. So what does your life look like right now? Do you have financial comfort or are you struggling? And then is this what you've been living like for years, for a while? Is it? Or is this like how your life looks like right now is new to you? You're in the middle of a transition. You're living on the edge. Anybody want to answer? Hi, Cara. Somebody asked, do you believe you have to purify your body to get what you want? My question to you is, how do you define purify? I'd like for you to share, how do you define purify? This is a good question. I feel like this could take us somewhere. And when you say cleanse, what do you do to cleanse? What does that mean to you? Like drinking veggie things, fasting? What do you mean by cleanse? This is really good for the conversation. Water fast. So, to answer your question, do you believe you have to purify your body to get what you want? First, I'm going to define purify. And this is why I asked you, what do you mean by purify? Um, a couple things. First, for everybody here, who here is very experienced with fasting? Thank you, Autumn. You're very experienced with fasting. You're very experienced with dry fasting. You're very experienced with, doing all the kind of colonic cleansing and, you know, all the detoxification baths and herbs and drinkings and all the things, right? I see some people say me. Somebody said I did, but now I'm like, is this in my mind? I see you here. You on with it. 24-hour fasting, yes. Keto, okay. Meat only, okay. This is why I ask, because if you have experience with it, then you can hear me different, perhaps. If you have lots of experience with a wide variety of different kinds of fasting, right? And after all the fasting that you've done, your cleansing baths that you do, and you're wearing white and drinking the detoxification things and even like the detoxing of social media, right? That's one right there. Like no social media for a week or for 30 days. No TV for X amount of time, right? And you do all those things, and what comes up when you do those things in your experience? Anybody here? Whoever wants to share. What's been your experience when you've done like aggressive cleansing? What happens? The kind of cleansing I just described. clarity, fasting. Anybody else? We're going somewhere with this. We're going to take this because I want you all to see purity, cleaning. Somebody said deep wounds. Hi, Cynthia. Deep wounds meaning what? They come up, they rise. Somebody said feel lighter. Anybody else? Somebody said peace. Somebody said empathy. Somebody said you get clarity and all, but it's back to the beginning. Deep wounds show up and the distraction can't steer you away from it. Yes. So thank you for sharing, everybody. Somebody said letting go of hate. How do you know you've let go of hate? Somebody said spiritual connections. And what does that look like? This is why it's so important to have reflective conversations with people with capacity, because we think we've let go of hate. I'm not saying you have or have not. Here's where I'm going with this. Let's keep it moving, okay? Somebody said the temptation shows up more after you've done, or even while you're doing all the fasting and the cleansing and the purifying that most people think has to do with wearing white and detoxing the body and all the things, which is good. So please know this is not to discount that. This is about if you're going to have lasting change and if you're truly going to purify. When you only do these purifications that you all have listed here, it is the beginning. It is partial. It's more like I want to call it an addendum. Meaning, when you do true purification, you cannot do any of those things and still get the results you want. You can still purify. What do I mean? So earlier I said that 95% of how your life looks, how you live, how you think, how you feel is based on what's hidden from you. The reason why most people do these things that you're talking about is because they're easy to do. It's easy to do. It's like something that is it's a, what do you call it? Tangible. It's a tangible. And people trust tangible more than they do intangible, right? You trust a product, something you can touch. So I can see an herb, I can touch an herb, so I believe that I can do that. Oh, I can take this juice. Yeah, see, I can see that. Oh, a bath, I can do that. Okay, good, right? So you get a chance to get in on it, and so you have a different trust. You can give it a kind of meaning because it's a physical thing you can look at, and it's a heavy reliance on your mortal senses, which is why you believe it so much more. You interact with it so much more because most of us have much more respect and reverence and trust of what we can see versus the 95% of where our power is, which is where we cannot see. Most of us don't really trust the spiritual world. We like to talk about it because it's like, woo, and it gives it, but we don't really trust the spiritual world. We trust that TikTok video we just saw. We trust that YouTube short. We trust what we said. We trust what she said. We trust what we seeing out here. When you trust the inside and you truly get it finally, that your whole life, how you see and move, that 95% of it is hidden from you, you wouldn't even be like fast and purify and cleanse in the way, y'all talking about. You will be wanting to explore what's going on in your unconscious mind. So let's talk about exploring what's in the unconscious mind. First of all, I said, look at what your life actually looks like right now. You start there because your unconscious mind is hidden from you, and the only thing that you can see is what already is in your life. So if you are ready to start respecting your spiritual self, your unknown, your invisible self, you start by looking at what you've already produced and what you repeatedly produce. Meaning, are you repeatedly financially Struggling. There's a part of you that wants that. Are you right? So who wants to share what their life currently looks like? What pattern do you notice in your life? Anybody want to share? Is this making sense what I just said? And if so, does it feel like too much? Like, is there a part of you that doesn't like it? Life is very messy. And I think that's the woman who talked about letting go of hate. A lot of lack of positive relationships, money, joy, lack of money, lack of joy, lack of progress. And is that your pattern? A lot of lack? Like, has it been this way for years? Struggling financially? For everyone who's answering, is this your pattern? Like, is this how your life has been looking for months or years? I think it's really trippy to know how much is hidden. Yeah, most of it is. Serving others, putting others first, spouse, kids, family. So, what's your emotional normal, Priscilla? Somebody said poverty for years. The last 3 years, yes, yes, struggling financially has been that way for years. Yeah. So, the reason why you want to look for pattern when it comes to getting to know your unconscious mind is because the pattern tells you what you really think, what you really feel, what you really want. Okay. If it's just a blip, meaning like, right, you're not normally broke, right? Maybe you just bought a house, so your money is low, right? But if you're broke all the time, years, you like being broke, but it's unconscious to you. And when I say like, I mean it's comfortable, it's familiar. Sort of like the example I gave earlier of the woman who, once she gets programmed by her family to be quiet, whether they told her she was too loud or maybe her joy annoyed her mom because her mom was an unhappy woman, or maybe her dad didn't want kids and accidentally got the mom pregnant and they got married and he actually hates his life. So having the daughter reminds him of the fact that he never wanted a child. So he takes all his resentment out on his daughter, right? She gets judged and treated poorly. And by the time she's 12, she just feels like she needs to be quiet. Nobody wants to hear what she has to say. And that her presence is a nuisance and a disturbance. So then she grows up to find a man who wants her to be quiet, who feels like, her even asking for anything is a nuisance and a disturbance. Okay, so that's how that works. You just act it out. She's just acting it out, right? This is how you start to look at what you actually prefer, what you actually think, what you actually feel. Is this helping so far? Like, can you, for those of you who said for years you've been struggling, can you accept the fact that you actually want it that way? You want the struggle. You prefer the struggle, or whatever's your reality. Even if your reality is not a pattern of struggle, it's another pattern. Can you accept that that's where you want to be, where you prefer to be? Because if that's where you really want to be and prefer to be, you need to hang out there for a while. You're not going to move if that's where you want to be, if that's where you prefer to be. You see what I mean? Like, no matter how much content you watch on how to unleash your authentic voice, no matter how much you sign up for this course, this program, if right now you prefer to struggle because it's comfortable, it's familiar, you're not going to move anyway. Lenny, you've been there for years, right? And you continue to stay there, right? So it's where you want to be. It may be uncomfortable, and maybe you like it like that. Apparently, you prefer it because you're there. And then the next question is, well, if if you do want to move, what have you been doing about it? Someone said, I've been just now seeing myself be able to afford what little I have, and I'm very grateful. Good. But I don't want to stay here. I want to achieve more for myself. Good. Does anybody have any questions so far about what I've shared? Who here is ready to move? Like, who here, let me tell you what lights me up, right? I particularly love working with women who are feral, who are, you you remember, you know that you're a very sexual being and it's been repressed and you want to unleash your sexual self. You really want to be a powerful, wise woman. You want to be well paid. Who here fits that? And not, don't say yes just because, oh, yes, because it sounds exciting, but your soul, you know that's meant for you. If it's always painful for you, then apparently yes. What's a wild woman anyway? What's a wild woman? Kara said a wild woman is natural. Just the energy off of the way you said it feels like an unconscious rejection of a part of yourself. Because what is a wild woman? A woman who, what if I told you a wild woman is a woman who bakes with flour? Oh, okay. Did you catch that? I don't want to be a wild woman. No. I don't want to be a wild woman. No. Oh, God. God, no. God, no. Wild woman? They get tortured. It's okay. I love that, Cynthia. That's good. Oh gosh, I can't wait till you start more. Well, Cynthia said, "Wow, it's so good." There you go. I think Lenny is your name. Does that feel better? A wild woman is a woman who frolics in flowers and watches the clouds. Ah! You see how they're just playfully teasing you? They're just playfully teasing. See, this is the beauty of being in a room with women who care about these kind of conversations. Because where else are you going to have them? You want to keep having these conversations? Who would like to continue having these conversations and bringing up your shadow selves and even the fun of it, playing? You really want to confront the parts of you that you are the hand of your own demise, but you don't even see it. Men too. You are the hand of your own demise and you don't even see it. Like literally, you're just like, but it's all hidden from you. And so you just get older and older and older. How old are you now? You know? And you constantly think something like other people can have it and you can't. Some version of why is this so hard? Some version of, well, fuck it then, and giving up. Some version of disappointment, God let you down, or just like not really believing. And all of it is you are the hand of it. But again, it's all hidden from you. Like, did you even realize, there's another one you don't deserve. Did you even realize, Lenny, that you were rejecting yourself and you said, I don't want to be a wild woman? I'm sure you didn't you didn't consciously think that me saying, I don't want to be a wild woman is me rejecting myself because it's unconscious. So you're doing this all the time by yourself in your own head, all the time. You just shared another one. You don't deserve it. Lenny, you need to get Heal Your Witch Wound today. It's with the link in my bio. It's $197. You want to get free? Or you like the discomfort of the struggle, the familiarity of the struggle, the safety of the struggle. So for everybody here, if you're ready to unleash truly, not only your authentic voice, but starting with the part of you that you cannot see. Cynthia, you definitely need to get Heal Your Witch Wound. It's about unleashing your sexual self. Matter of fact, when you go to the page, it says Heal the Witch Wound. Be unshakable in your magnetic sex power so you can stop being afraid of who you know you are. Who needs that so they can unleash their creative voice? I'll read that again. Be unshakable in your magnetic sex power so you can stop being afraid of who you know you are. Oh, I'm glad. Good. Did y'all hear what Cynthia said? Why'd you have to take breaks in between? That's great. So Cynthia has Heal Your Witch Wound. I'm so glad to hear that. Tell us why you had to take breaks, Cynthia. Cynthia, do you have 1,000 followers? And if so, do you want to come on camera with me right now? You need 1,000 followers. TikTok only lets you go live with your video if you have 1,000 followers. Okay. You can come on with your voice. You want to come share your experience with Heal Your Witch Wound? Yeah, you can. Let me see what I can do over here. Go ahead and request to join, Cynthia. I don't know. I thought you could see it. I've seen people do it themselves, so I thought you could easily do it. I don't know. Just poke around somewhere on your screen on the bottom. I'm seeing if I can find you myself on here. Yeah, I can't see you. Oh, I think I have to follow you in order to. Oh, there you are. Thank you. You did it. You're here. Yes. Let me turn up the sound. Cynthia, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Loud and clear.
Yes. Beautiful. I'm so glad. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yes. It was a very humbling exercise.
So I want you one second, Cynthia. Let me lay a little bit of ground foundation here before you speak so people can have some context. So to be clear and also to share for folks who may just be getting here. Cynthia here, who's going to be sharing with us her experience. She's going to be sharing about her experience inside of a digital product that she bought of mine called Heal Your Witch Wound. Again, it's called Heal Your Witch Wound. You can get Heal Your Witch Wound today by going to the link in my bio, clicking that link, and going to Heal Your Witch Wound. The price is $197. Okay? Heal Your Witch Wound is going to help you be unshakable in your magnetic, taboo sex power so you can stop being afraid of who you know you are. So Cynthia has the product and she's going to share what her experience has been like inside of it. Cynthia, thank you.
Yes. I think, and I just pulled out my journal for when I did the exercises, and one of the things that kept coming up was desirability and feeling desired, which all came down to being afraid of being seen. Because I have a big issue when it comes to desire. Like for example, even just with the first question, I don't want to ruin or spoil it for anyone, but there was a question where it's like, what do you believe? What do I believe that I'm not allowed to be? And that's a question, the way that it's phrased, it required me to really ask myself, like, sit down and sit across from myself, like, what have you told yourself you can't be? And the first thing I wrote was desirable. My body is not beautiful. I have a deep curve of scoliosis, loose skin, and fat around my stomach. My butt is big, but not the right kind. Like all of these things that were very deep, and I didn't even realize, like, wow, this actually affects me. It affects the perception I think people have, which may not even be true. So how do I shapeshift for a false narrative? Yeah, it's just a lot of stories. You start telling yourself the story that you've been telling yourself, and you're just like, wow, this is how I talk about me? This is what I think? It's very humbling. Humbling is the right word. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And so as you started to, so what I'm hearing so far is the questions that are asked, and I love that you named that the way that they're phrased. And I'm very intentional when I ask questions, and I ask it, I'm a woman, right? So I can ask a question in a particular way based on the way I've asked myself and clients to break through. Okay. Because if you just ask a question just simply, which most people do, it doesn't hit the part of the brain that gets penetrated so a person can even go deeper in order to get the answer. So I love that you were like, the way I phrased the question. That was great. So then what I'm hearing is that all of this unconscious mental activity that you didn't even know was going on, the question had you bring all of that out of the dark into the light, and you were able to look at it and be like, oh my God, this is what I've been thinking, right? Mm-hmm. Is that true?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, from that first question alone, I filled up 3 pages. And I was shocked. I was like, I cannot believe these are like desirability. I don't feel like I'm allowed to be heard. I don't feel like I'm allowed to be successful. I don't feel like I'm allowed to be loved, bad, or make mistakes, powerful. Like lists on top of lists on top of lists. And that first question, I think because it's phrased the way that it's phrased and it unravels a lot, it makes the next questions, it's like you open a door and so now you're looking into the room.
Yes.
And so now you're going through each section of the room. You're just like, okay, I have this. Okay, wow, I have this, I have that. And so it's a room that you didn't think that you had to open the door of. So it's really it's a very important question, and a great way to start the exercise alone.
So I'm inviting everyone here who is just totally resonating, and I want to ask you some more questions, Cynthia, because I haven't heard you talk about it myself, so I'm enjoying hearing your experience with it. So, but I'm recommending everybody go get, if you're resonating with Cynthia and you know you need to unleash all this stuff that's in your unconscious, or it's like this unconscious chatter that's making you live and move and play small so that you can't move big, so that you can't take action, so that you keep choosing a comfort, a small place because you're scared of the unknown. But you're only scared of the unknown because the you that has the power to handle the unknown is hidden behind all the unconscious chatter, as Cynthia has talked about here. Please go to the link in my bio right now and get Heal Your Witch Wound. And you know what I would like to do for everybody who already has Heal Your Witch Wound, because plenty of people already have it. And I really want to do this because I just want to connect. I want to connect and I want to see what else. And it's always good to, be in conversation with people who are actively, deliberately doing this work and have invested, shown their seriousness by paying money. Is this coming Sunday? Yeah, I'd love to. This coming Sunday at 9 a.m. Pacific. Yeah, I'd love to have a meeting on Zoom with everyone who either already has Heal Your Witch Wound and everybody who gets it today before I hang up. So you're only welcome to participate in this on this coming Sunday on Zoom at 9 a.m. Pacific. You're only going to be able to join that if you sign up for Heal Your Witch Wound before I hang up today. I want you to be able to go into Heal Your Witch Wound before we meet on Sunday. Start doing the work. Cynthia, I would love for you to be there if you can. And I want us to meet on Sunday, and we're going to, for everybody who has it and everybody who will buy it, meet on Zoom, camera on, 9 a.m. Pacific on Sunday, this coming Sunday, to have some reflective conversations with each other to help you advance yourself along. And even put together mini accountability plans for everyone who chooses to show up. So what that looks like is when you start to see what comes out of you as you're doing Heal Your Witch Wound, like how Cynthia is sharing. Thank you so much, Cynthia. How Cynthia is sharing her experience with it, what came up and what came out. Okay, so then what are we going to do? Right? And I want to ask you that some more here today. But part of what we're going to go into Sunday is first of all, you just getting it out of your mouth versus just being in your head all the time by yourself, which is what most of us do. We're in our head all the time. We're overeating. We're distracted, etc. So you're going to get a chance to be seen, which is powerful. Okay, seen by me, seen by the other women there. You're going to get a chance to start to unleash your authentic voice by sharing your taboo self. All this unconscious stuff that's going to come to the front by you doing these exercises between now and Sunday. Bring that up and out of your mouth. That's more alchemy. That's more bringing you going further faster is what I call it. And then putting together a mini plan of, okay, so now what am I going to do from here? And you're going to feel inspired and you're going to feel lighter. And so you'll be able to actually be like, okay, what am I going to do from here from a much more powerful, lighter, true place? So for anybody who signs up for Heal Your Witch Wound, even on YouTube, while I'm live, anyone who signs up for Heal Your Witch Wound before I hang up here today, and anyone who has it already, Cynthia, an email is going to go out. I want you to come to our meeting this coming Sunday on Zoom, 9 a.m. Pacific, and you just send an email. Well, you don't even need to send an email. Once you sign up, you'll be tagged and you'll receive details for Zoom. But I'm going to want folks to RSVP so I know how many people to expect. Okay, so Cynthia, thank you so much. So now that you, like you said, this first question, basically it opens you up and primes you for the rest of the program, the course, digital product. So now, boom, all of this chatter and unconscious stuff that you didn't even know was choking your creative voice, Okay, now it's in the light. Now you see it. What did that enable you to do? What did it do for you?
It definitely first it the breaks that I had to take were to have kind of soothe myself first, because I don't think we say it enough. Like, this kind of work is only difficult because it's revealing, but reveals our opportunities. And so instead of being afraid of it, and that's something that I constantly battle, it's the fear of really tapping in. Because the thing is, once you know something, you can't go back. Like, the moment you know, it's as if your entire view of reality has shifted. So I think for me, what had to happen next was I had to sit with it. I had to soothe myself with this truth and also remind myself that this is what I wanted. And I even asked myself, like, why I wanted it. And it was because I wasn't happy. What I'm doing right now wasn't working. It was not working. It's like beating my head against a wall. And getting the answers is frightening only because it's new. So I did that, and even to hold myself accountable, I only told one friend about what it is that I'm doing, because I didn't want, I don't want this to feel like this big secret when what it is liberation. And if I'm getting liberated, then I want my girls to get liberated too. So if there's at least one or two people that can begin to see the progress that I know I'm about to embark on, and hold me accountable, and even be interested in their own ways, that reminds me that this is something that we all need. And then I also signed up for your women initiation.
Oh my God!
I think it was this exercise. Yeah, it was this exercise. I did this first. And after doing this and seeing the unleashing that was happening, I was like, oh, nah. Okay, so this is a lot. And because I want to be responsible with this, I wanted accountability. I wanted community. I wanted mentorship. So that was like the second thing that I had to do. I was like, okay, now that I know these truths, I need someone who is going to help me navigate them, and then grow with them.
Yeah. How did it feel to see that this was going on in you? How did it feel to look at that?
It's heartbreaking. Like, for lack of better words, breakdown crying, even having to fight my inner ego, just wanting to hold on to those things. And, it's heartbreaking because you're just like, my God, this thing is so deeply ingrained in me that I move with it with so much ease. I move in self-deprecation with so much ease. And I'm just like, damn, like, what happened? It's sad. It's so sad. It's sad. It's sad, So I think that was the hardest thing to navigate, the heartbreak.
Yeah. And I asked you that question because I could feel, because behind all of this, like you said, the ease of, did you say self-deprecating?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you said self-deprecating, we could fill in, right, the ease of playing small, right, the ease of lying, the ease of being quiet, the ease of it all due to the programming, right? It's like another layer of skin that we made who we are. That's how I see it, right? So it just makes it so easy to walk in. And one, when you do it like how you've done it, Cynthia, you can have so much compassion, right, for other women who you can see the ease with which they play small, and it's like, versus, someone else who hasn't done the work might like want to judgmental. It's like when you start doing this work, you're like, oh fuck, and it's like, it's not just me, it's pretty much all women, you know what I mean? The majority of us. And then, the tenderness that came out as I was hearing and feeling and receiving you is like the little girl under all that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like,
it's like that's why I just kept saying humbling. It's it's like, okay, girl, let's sit down with this. Let's just sit down with each other for a second.
Seriously. And so it's so organic and natural that you would be like, okay,
yeah,
we need some community around here. This is a lot going on.
Because then if you don't do that, you just kind of ruminate and you sit in that rumination. And I know that's a bad habit of mine. Like I'm a grade A student at rumination.
Whew, it's a lot of women.
I'm a sensational storyteller. I will do that to myself. Like it's so it's like having like people and someone who's able to really help you just, all right, I'm glad you're here now, so let's figure out a foundation that feels good.
Yeah. What was the taking up? Did you do the taking up space exercise?
Not yet. This is because I'm flying tomorrow, so I'm like, let me do this in stages and take it all in. Yes. But not yet. Yes. I know that's coming. Oh my gosh.
That's fine. I asked because, girl.
Yeah.
So it's thick. It really is, and I made it. One, because so many women were like, well, I want to work with you, and they couldn't afford Shadow Gold. And I was like, what can I create that's going to be powerful, actually help people get results, that's affordable? And that's how Heal Your Witch Wound was even born. And I've heard so many women say this, that they had to do it in stages, or like they started, but right, because this is real purification, to get at whoever mentioned purification earlier today. This is actually having you be transformed from your deepest self. And so your deepest self is getting worked. So everything that's been on top, right? All the story making Cynthia said that she had, and all the unconscious chatter and thoughts about desirability and what she can and cannot be and express and do and have and say. All of that is being taken out of the way, and that is work. That's why it could be fatiguing. It's like, okay, I got to sit down. Okay, now I need some accountability, or else I'm gonna ruminate. And doesn't it get like dense and foggy and thick, right?
Exhausting. It is, because it's new territory. It's just a lot coming out.
Yeah, and it's all you.
It's all me. Like, we store so much, and I will say also, as the exercises happened, my gut response, like my literal gut was beginning to, like, I felt so much movement happening in my gut all the way to my throat, because it was something wanting to come out, like wanting to escape finally. Yeah.
Woo. Wow. And this is digital. I know people all over the world, and not everybody wants to move around, but this is also why I was encouraging, and will eventually again start encouraging, more in person. One of the biggest, hugest return on investment, value, power. If you want impact, you want something that penetrates, that's deep. That's the whole purpose of getting in a room with women who are doing this work, is that there's a penetration when there's a concentration of power and energy in a room, and you come with intent to break through, versus being in your house by yourself doing a digital product. And I get it, right? For a lot of people, that's where they're going to start. It works. It's wonderful. It's great. And if you like immersive, if you like penetrating, if you love the tactical, the experiential aspect of touching and smelling and being in the experience of it with others, get in the room. Get in a room. Come to Women in Italy. Come to Houston at the end of September and October. I mean, like, if you want to have that real breakthrough like that. Okay,
Yeah,
good.
like,
So
I know it's scary. It is scary, and I get it because it's a lot that you're gonna have to leave behind
yes,
to pursue for yourself.
Yeah.
But trust your curiosity. Your curiosity is actually one of the most beautiful things about yourself. So if you're curious, it's because you're seeking something that is bigger than you, but is inside.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. Thank you so much. Did you want to say that felt like a good? Did you want to say anything in closing? That felt like a good drop right there.
Yeah, no. That in closing, like, yes, please, if you are curious at all, you don't lose anything in learning something new. So even if you just really want to test the waters, I think Heal Your Witch Wound is a great way to begin to open something up.
Mm-hmm.
Allow yourself to see something different. You deserve that.
Yeah, it's super good. Yeah, so you can go read details and sign up by going to the link in my bio here on TikTok and click the link and click Heal Your Witch Wound. You can sign up there. And if you're on YouTube, you can go to the description and the link is there for Heal Your Witch Wound. Cynthia, thank you so much, darling. And I'll see your face.
You did that, girl. So.
And I wanted you to do a video introduction in the group. That was on my to-do list to email you about that. But I want you to
have a video. For some reason, you can only do photos. I didn't see how you can add video.
So upload your video to YouTube and then post the YouTube link.
Got it. I'll do that.
Good, because I want us to see your face and you to have the experience of talking the thing.
Awesome. I will.
All right. I look forward to seeing you soon. Bye, darling.
All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye. So in closing, does anybody have any questions about this topic, or is there anything in particular you'd like me to elaborate on? I'll wait about a minute. So very quickly, if you have any questions, now's your time.